Welcome back, guys, to Crypto Millionaire. Today I'm going to talk about a brief market update. Also, give you a brief update while I've been away from the markets. I haven't been too well. I'm caught COVID, unfortunately. So I have recovered. Been 2 weeks, literally knocked out, guys. Just in the recovery zone right now. So I might not sound my best. So do forgive me. But I just wanted to give you guys a brief update on the market. We have passed also 200 subscribers, which is a nice milestone for me. Hopefully we can get that up to 1,000 subs. That's the aim of the game. And hopefully share your comments, like the video. The more likes we get, it helps the YouTube algorithm. The more comments, what sort of coins that you want me to talk about, generally which ones interest you, share them. If you don't share them, I don't know what your thought process is at the moment, and it's good to share so we all have an understanding of what sort of content you want me to create. But as you know, the Bitcoin market has been recovering. My 2 weeks out, I've seen a lot of changes in the 2 weeks. I have to say, Bitcoin was at 52,000, and then it had a crash, didn't it? It had a major crash, and it was on the brink of going back to 52 and above. And weirdly enough, there was an analysis made a few months ago from one guy on YouTube. I kind of forgot the name, but anyway, it was on a news channel, and 52,000 was a key point. And strangely enough, when Bitcoin hit 52,000, it did drop. But yeah, so we'll talk about that a little bit as well. And before I get into those sort of myths and whatever you want to call it, but I'd like to talk about a brief market update. So let's get right into it. Right, so Bitcoin today trading at 48,619, 24 hour 2.50, 2.50% up. Last 7 days it's up 6.66%. It's not doing too bad. It's recovering nicely. 48,000. It's important that it stays above 48. Hopefully moving up to 50,000. It's not too much away from it, so hopefully things are looking good for Bitcoin. Ethereum, steady Eddie, is very strong. It's getting stronger day by day. I have to say, Ethereum has been very stabilized. It hasn't done huge movements in the market so far. It's been trading in this region, to be honest, sideways, and it's looking strong. Now it's deflationary. ETH 2.0. A lot of talks are now that, I don't know, some of you guys possibly trade on eToro. Maybe eToro have launched ETH 2.0 staking. So for those of you who do trade on eToro, I don't recommend it, but obviously people have to start somewhere. They do take care of your cryptos, in which the whole point of crypto that you own it, but at the same time a lot of people don't feel comfortable doing that. So eToro is a good platform for that, but the fees are a bit skeptical and a bit high. But end of the day, whatever fits your boat, gets you going, it doesn't matter. So end of the day, if you're making money, it's fine. Anyway, so eToro, I know you have to have one ETH to be staking it, and do bear in mind though, it's all dependent upon when ETH 2.0 is being launched. But once you stake it, that's it. You can't get it out until ETH 2.0 is actually launched. It'd be possibly 12 to 24 months, and that is on the TNC. So that's a bit of a uptrend for Ethereum. Generally, the fees at the moment are very high still. That's the same old story with Ethereum right now. But those sort of scaling problems are hopefully going to get fixed with ETH 2.0. But end of the day, now it's deflationary, and ETH has been burning a lot of tokens. I think last I read of it was like 300 billion or something like that has already been burnt from Ethereum in terms of tokens. So the more, in time, the whole point of the I can't say it's going to be as effective as Bitcoin, but end of the day, the part it's gonna have utility value. Okay, it's the network that at the present moment holds the most altcoins. It is the network. I don't see Ethereum ever being overthrown. I just cannot see that happening. But then again, giants have been overthrown in the past. You had, in the .com era, who would have thought Google would come and overthrow Yahoo, or AOL for that matter. If you guys do recall, Ask Jeeves even. So no one's asking Jeeves anymore, are they, for any issues? Everyone's asking Google. So the paradigm shift does happen. So first to market isn't always the winner, but ETH 2.0 better solve the problems. If it doesn't solve the problems, then Ethereum has major problems. Down the road, because there's only so much that people can kind of put up with, because there will come a point where it needs to do what it's supposed to do. Okay, but it's got too much backing, and I cannot see that why it won't be doing that. On the flip side, you have obviously Cardano, which is on the verge of, it has launched smart contracts now. A lot of FUD was going around. Obviously, Cardano is still very steady, I would say. $2.41, very steady. And there's a lot of FUD going around just prior to the launch, actually. People saying that, Cardano has problems on the network, it can't launch a dApp, etc. Things aren't going too well, and so on. But they, Charles Hoskinson, they done it. IOHK, they actually did it. They have smart contracts now, so it's been a long wait. I have to say, I expected more in terms of the effect on the price. It really didn't have much of an effect, and Bitcoin is to blame for that. At the time when this was happening, Bitcoin wasn't performing great, but at the same time, Cardano has actually performed, to be honest, on its own right in this market cycle. So it doesn't have to always pump when Bitcoin's pumping. It has actually been pumping without Bitcoin at times anyway. So as much as we want it to, generally speaking, when Bitcoin's doing well, all the altcoins do well, and that's the name of the game. But what I'm trying to say, with the smart contract news, I did expect more. It had the jump to $3.10, and it peaked, a week before the smart contracts, which was very strange one, I have to say. But I do think a lot of the FUD got in the way of the pump. In a weird way, it's giving people hope in terms of buying at these prices. I do believe they have a lot of surprises up the sleeve. There is, if I take you to the Cardano website, there's a summit happening, literally a global summit. I'm going to play this for you guys. There's a global summit happening across the world, across the globe. One in London, Berlin, Miami, Cape Town, Tokyo, New York. They're having a virtual summit, meet up with the community, Cardano community, which is, as you know, it's such a strong community. And when you have a community-based driven project, generally speaking, it's very powerful, and Cardano is exactly that. And also, what's interesting is that they've given a bit of a interesting part is that they are going to break some breaking news in terms of to the market that they got some major contracts. Okay, so so make sure you watch out for the 25th to 26th of September, I believe it is, that's the date. Watch out for the Cardano price, possibly will be pumping prior to that, so it could be a good time to get in right now. To leading up to the pump, it could be going back to the $3. If you hit the Cardano charts, end of the day, it is gearing up for another pump, I have to say. It has been treading down, but it does seem like it's gearing up for another pump. For some reason, it's just frozen on me, but but it's gearing up for another pump. hopefully soon, and the charts did show that it's gearing up for another pump. Okay, so what I would say to you, obviously, it's an investment advice, but generally speaking, leading up to some big news, which they've already had the major news with a smart contract, but if these contracts are big, these partnerships that they're going to release on the 25th, 26th, we could see Cardano moving up to $3 again. But that's done with Cardano. Obviously got Binance Coin. There's not really much to talk about on Binance Coin. They are doing what they're doing. They're pumping. They are back. They down right now because of Bitcoin, but they did go back up to $500 and they went back down. There's not much news on Binance other than the fact that they have had some good news, generally speaking, which has gone actually untold. I have to say, it's kind of old news right now, but you know that in the UK that there was a ban in terms of people couldn't pay on Binance anymore because of the legalities and so on. There was a general, ban that you can't use your card or your credit card or Visa debit to pay to buy crypto, but that's been lifted now. They are back to being regulated, and if you log into Binance, you will see like a little note now saying that there are more regulations into play, and they are now all they always were okay. It's just people want to get more out of Binance, I guess. These regulators always find a way of trying to harm Binance, but Binance are doing a great job. They are still the market leaders in terms of exchanges, and so they're going strong. Generally, XRP, there's not really much to talk about. They are still on the dollar range. Solana is the biggest news within the last 2 weeks. I have to say that I've missed in terms of not giving you guys an update. Solana has been really killing it, really smashing it. It went all the way up to, I think, 210, 220, if not higher. We can check that in a bit. But overall, Solana has been pumping, and a lot of that is what you got to look at. Solana pumping is due to the fact that there's been adoption. A lot of the ecosystem is starting to flourish, okay, and that is what we can expect with Cardano, which is really important, okay. So Cardano trading at $2.42. Smart contract has just launched. It takes literally 2 to 3 months before the ecosystem can stabilize. There's already 100 companies already alive on Cardano and kicking it hard, okay. So think about in the next 3 months when the ecosystem, it's Rocktober's coming up. Generally speaking, Bitcoin pumps heavily. We're coming to the end of the year now, and crypto normally is buzzing, okay? So we should be looking at, hopefully, if all goes well, guys, a $5 Cardano, yeah? Okay, I was hoping for a $10, but that could vary. One thing I've noticed with Cardano, it doesn't really move as much, okay? Not heavily. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's moved a lot. But once it's reached $1, since then it's been a stable run. It's very stable. End of the day, you want to save crypto to invest in, Cardano's all the way. And we believe in Cardano because once that ecosystem is flourishing, and you will see a transition period. And once that transition period happens, you will see the same adoption as Solana. We could see 100 to 200% rise in Cardano price. It'd be going up to $5, $6, $7 in no time. And that's all dependent upon how that ecosystem is adopted. I mean, obviously there's some issue with the concurrency, but it's more about people didn't understand the general programming language of Haskell. I believe that's what they call it anyway. So there's always going to be teething issues. If you've been in development, I've been in that environment all my life. If you've been in DevOps environment or launching a new product to market, there's always teething issues anyway. People don't understand a new product, what it is. A lot of silly questions, generally speaking, and that's exactly what it was. Okay, so anyways, Solana's pumping heavily. Solana's taking a big hit due to the fact that it had an attack. It had a major attack on the system. Solana went down for more than 24 hours, I believe, and it was pretty embarrassing, really. Especially, it couldn't come at a worse time for them, especially when they were gaining market adoption. Until everything's going great for them, everyone's talking about Solana, and bang, they've been hit hard. It's very embarrassing to go offline like that, and that's, to be honest, I'm quite surprised it's still at $161. I was expecting personally whenever something gets hacked and hit hard with a DDoS attack, which is a very simple attack in general terminology, a DDoS attack, Ethereum, on the other hand, it fought that bugger. It had no chance of hitting Ethereum. Ethereum was strong, solid. It didn't even come close to Ether. And that's why I said, like, in the day, you have all these smart contracts platforms. As much as Ethereum is slow on fixing its problems, ETH 2.0, I'm sure, would be the solution to a lot of its current problems. And end of the day, I cannot see other platforms overtaking Ethereum, generally speaking. But what they will be doing is working alongside Ethereum, okay? And the ETH will be, Ethereum will always be around, but there's always a danger. Like if the ETH 2.0 isn't good, if it doesn't solve the problem, there could be issues, because you got Cardano, you got Solana, you got Polkadot, you got all these other ecosystem smart contract platforms that are going to be catching up. Okay. But anyways, so that was a big hiccup for Solana, and Polkadot just been quietly moving up, really, to be honest. They've been ranging on the $35 range again. They're back up to $35. If you guys had listened to when I told you to buy Polkadot at $14 to $15, you would be double your investment, 1x. You would have doubled your money right now, and you'll be enjoying it. And that's pretty much it, really, other than talking about Avalanche right now. It's killing it. It's another ecosystem which is smart contract. It is literally flying. Avalanche was trading at $10 just a few months ago, okay, and now it's at 71. So you would have straight 6-7x there. You would have really enjoyed that pump. And it seems like it's been, and that's why I said I was a bit surprised with Cardano, with the fact that it didn't move up as much as I hoped with the smart contract news, especially with the following and being the number 3 in the cryptocurrency market, in terms of market cap. I was expecting Cardano to be at $4 right now, no lie, at least with the smart contract news and everything, because look at Solana, it's $1, it's crazy. Solana has gone up so, don't get me wrong, tokenomics are an issue here with Cardano. They have a lot more token, billions and billions. So Solana have a lot less on the market, and that's one of the reasons why it can move a lot more. But anyways, I do expect, like I said, within the next 2 to 3 months, October's coming and things are going to start rocking, okay? Believe you me. But for those of you who are new to the market, and you might get told Bitcoin's going to 300,000, 200,000, that's all. That's not going to happen. I don't believe it's going to happen anytime in this bull run, anyway. So that's more of a long-term play right now, and that's due to the fact that we've had this tremendous downtrend on the market on Bitcoin, and that's what I'm going to go back to and talk to you about Bitcoin right now. And let's end the video on Bitcoin. So. Right, El Salvador on the 7th of September, I believe, went live with Bitcoin. It became officially a legal tender on El Salvador, and it was officially the day but you can see a lot of it hasn't really been taken too well by the country. A lot of generally there's been a lot of protest, uprising. Weirdly enough, on the day when El Salvador went live is the day that Bitcoin had that $10,000 crash, okay? So what I was talking about earlier on, a lot of myths and whatnot, is generally speaking that, what's to say that generally the global economy wasn't too impressed the fact that El Salvador adopted Bitcoin as legal tender, and who's to say that the big guys up there weren't to play with the Bitcoin crash, okay? The fact that it's a bit of a strange one, right? The day that El Salvador go live, they kind of attack Bitcoin, and it goes to 42,000 from 52,000. There is a lot of games happening in crypto right now with Bitcoin, and you need to understand that Bitcoin is a winner. There's no doubt about that. You stick with crypto, you're going to be winning. But at the same time, you got to play the market, okay? I don't want you guys out there to get burnt hard. So in the next 2 to 3 months, it's going to be a decision time. If you got huge profits, you really need to think hard whether you take profits now or whether you want to ride the storm and you're thinking long term. But the fact of the matter is, the way Bitcoin could move from 52 to 42, you could go from 42 to back to 29,000 in no time. Okay, it's already happened, and I have a sense of feeling that a lot of these games are going to be happening, so the big guys can accumulate more Bitcoin. Generally speaking, so the whales can accumulate more. I think this year, 2021, was the bull run that Bitcoin really ought to have gone to 250,000 at least. However, during that mid process of the market, when Bitcoin had that hit, okay, with all the FUD going around, Elon doing all his strange tweets and, accepting Bitcoin, not accepting Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. All of that has taken the actual venom from Bitcoin away, essentially. And now Bitcoin since then has just been in a recovery phase, right? So in terms of trying to get back up to the all-time high, but it hasn't done that. And what you need to be worried about is the fact that could 62 or 63,000, whatever it was, be the market top? It could. However, no one actually knows. No one knows if it was the market. I mean, there's all these crypto people going around saying, like, even myself, it should be going to 250, 300. But the truth is, we all believe now, generally speaking, the market, it has another run to around 100,000 is universally accepted. And then it's going to crash down probably 80%, okay? And it'll be going back down to $30,000, and it'll be trading on those levels, and within there will be obviously a bear market, okay? It will hit hard. So you need crypto is gearing up for the time. Rocktober's coming, November, December, generally great months for Bitcoin, and January obviously peaks. So all I'm saying to you is have your positions marked, do what's best for you, and obviously it's a great market update I want to give you guys, okay? Because personally I don't want any of you to lose money. I'm going to exit Cardano, I'll be honest with you guys, roughly around $5. That's my target right now. I did have targets at $10, but I just find the way the market's been performing, it's a bit skeptical right now. I'm not 110% sure that it would actually reach 10. I think if I'm really honest, Cardano would probably go to $8, max at $8, and then that would be the market top for Cardano. Bitcoin will be going to around maybe 90,000 for one Bitcoin, and that could be the market top if it doesn't reach 100. Okay, so you got to be careful when you want to exit. And then there would be a massive crash. And universally, the economies aren't great across the globe. Okay, you need to bear that in mind, that there could be a global meltdown anytime soon. Generally speaking, you could go around the supermarket, the coronavirus could come back and hit us hard again. We don't know. The months coming up to now are the winter months across the UK, and generally a lot of across the Europe as well. So coronavirus can come back hard, and we need to prepare ourselves for another lockdown, things going wrong. And if things like that happen again, it will impact the global economy, and it will impact the crypto markets too. So bear that in mind. So yeah, guys, so today the crypto market update. It wasn't too quick, the video, it was a bit dragged, so I do apologize, but I did have to catch up for 2 weeks being away, okay? So do forgive me if I wasn't too clear. A lot of it's because I'm still recovering from COVID, and yes, it's good to be back. If you like the video, please hit the thumbs up button, smash the thumbs up please. It helps the YouTube algorithm, gives me some life, some determination to keep going, giving you good quality content, just real, keeping it real with you guys as well. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share.